Give you my heart.
Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to another video. So it is currently like 8 something in the morning. I just got Nathan off to school and our day is kind of just starting. Today's gonna be a fun video because I thought about it really hard. I'm like, what do I want to film? What can I talk about? Because I want to keep the channel interesting for you guys. And so I was like, why not do a different kind of update? Basically, I'm going to be doing my 2019 recap, talking to you guys about all of the things that happened in 2019, the good, the bad, all of it. And then I also want to do my 5-month marriage update because in just a couple days, it'll be 5 months of marriage. And I'm like, why not update you guys? Because I definitely mentioned my marriage here and there, but I haven't really talk to you guys as we go along. Like, we're just kind of hitting the months and just, oh, we made it to another month. But like, I don't sit there and I don't reflect on it. And I feel like we should just give a whole update on marriage and how that's been going. So yeah, it's gonna be really exciting. We do have a lot to do today though. I literally have 3.5 hours to get a bunch of errands taken care of. I have to go print out some photos for our big picture album thing in the living room. We need to update it and put some new pictures up. So I want to get like some wedding pictures on there, first birthday party pictures, and Nathan's 5th birthday party pictures, just to have it like more current. Obviously, I'll have to switch them out again in a couple months, but I actually enjoy doing that. I have to take back this sweater to Walmart, and I'll just show you guys because why not? Hold on. Okay, here is the sweater. It's just gray with some really cute little white hearts on it. Problem is, I saw this shirt, and I'm gonna take this out for you guys. I saw this shirt at Kohl's. It looks pink on camera, but it's like a very pale, like cream color. Gorgeous. And it's by Lauren Conrad. And basically, I got that sweater for Valentine's Day, you guys. But then I saw this at Kohl's, and I was like, this would be so much cuter. So we're going to take this one back. And then I also have to grab a couple things from Walmart. I'm going to be making this apple cheesecake tonight. At Bible study last night, one of the girls made it, and it was just so freaking good. It was so good, and it's such a simple recipe. I'll try to put that in there, or put that in here for you guys. So I'm gonna try to make that for dessert tonight because we still have leftover pot roast and potatoes from last night, so I don't have to cook dinner tonight, but I will make a dessert. I already told my husband about it, and he's like, ooh, that sounds really, really good. So I'm excited to make that. And then I have to run over to my grandma's house. My car is like out of windshield wiper fluid, and my windshield is super dirty, and I can barely see. So we definitely need to go over there and get some more. I would just buy some and fill up, but she has a couple bottles in her garage. And honestly, she's like, just come over and just fill up. Don't even like go buy any. So that's really nice of her. But yeah, that's everything I have to do today. And then we'll jump right into our recap and our marriage update. Okay guys, so I'm back. I did some of what I needed to do today, not all of it. I'm currently chilling on the futon. This is my lounge spot, you guys. Like, I'm in the corner of the living room, and there's a glare on the camera, and I don't know why. But yeah, currently just sitting here, and I was like, oh my god, I totally forgot to make time to film the rest of today's video, so we're doing it right now, and yeah, I'm so sorry that I'm slacking, you guys. I'm really not trying to. Honestly, the babies are probably gonna wake up pretty soon. So I'm gonna try to talk quickly, but not talk too quickly, if that makes any sense. Okay, so 2019, wow. There's a lot to say. It was honestly such a prosperous year. I feel like the end of 2018 going into 2019, it just continued to be really prosperous for me. And what I mean by that is I gained so much knowledge and understanding, and I got a better idea of how I want my life to be, how I want it to look, and what I need to do to get there. And so it's just, like I said, prosperous is the only word that really comes to mind. If you guys have watched some of my other videos, you saw me like before I was in this house. I was living with my grandma. I had this kind of old car. I mean, it was a 2006. It wasn't that old, but it had a lot of issues. It was breaking down like every other week, and yeah. So I wasn't necessarily struggling, but things definitely could have been better for me. And I had my twins at the end of 2018. We also found out the same day that I had the twins that we got approved for our house, like literally at the same time that I was going back for my C-section. I had gotten an email on my phone saying we got approved for the house. Like that, like how crazy is that? Like that is just such a blessing in itself. When I think about it, I'm like, man, obviously I didn't read it until like 5 or 6 o'clock at night, but when I saw the time on it, it said 11:32 a.m. And I'm like, oh my God, my C-section was scheduled at 11:30, and they were wheeling me back. Well, not wheeling me back, taking me back at like 11:30. Like at the same time that they told us this, I was about to have my babies. Like how crazy is that? Like that, I know some of you guys that watch my channel, you're not religious, but for me, I personally think that has to be God. Like, I don't know. That's just me though. I know not everyone believes in God. That is totally fine. We can all have our different religions and viewpoints, and I respect each and every one of you for that. But I personally feel like that was just all God, because it was just so amazing. And that kind of led into 2019. I had my little babies, and we had our house. My oldest son turned 4 January 4th of 2019, and things just kind of, nothing exciting or like big really happened for a while. We were in the house, was working. I had just hit my 1 year at my job at the end of 2018, so that was exciting. So I was just, working, being a mom, handling the transition, because I went from having 1 child to having 3. And I applaud my husband so much, because obviously we didn't get married until just a few months ago, and he went from being just a guy who was dating me to a father of our twins and of my oldest child. He went from no kids to 3, and he is handling it so well. He fits the role really well. He does such a good job with the twins, but he's also showing my oldest son how to be respectful, how to be a young man. I love it, and it just makes me so happy. It's just such a great thing, you guys. It really truly is. And then shortly, like 2.5, almost 3 months into 2019, my 2006 broke down, and it was actually sitting in the driveway for several weeks. We finally got it running again, and I was feeling okay. I'm like, okay, this time it was a little bit pricier, but it's running again. But I had done my taxes, and I'm like, okay, I got a lot back this year, and we're in the house now. There's really nothing big I need or need to be saving for, at this time. So I'm like, maybe I should look into getting a car. And so that is when I got my Terrain that is outside. I have a silver GMC Terrain. It's a 2016. And just saying that still feels weird to me and like a little surreal because honestly, I did not think at this point in my life that I would be able to buy a new car like that. My car is only 3 years old. I honestly thought I would be able to buy a car like that maybe like 2, 3, 4 years from now when we were in a bigger house and I had a better paying job and things like that. But I got approved. I put down a couple thousand, and they said because my credit score was really good, that was a big factor in approving me. Because, when you work part-time, it's hard to get a new car because the lenders might not think that you can afford the payments. In my case, I'm able to afford it, and it was just so exciting when they told me, like, you're approved. And I was like, I am? And they were like, yeah, you have a really good credit score and you're willing to put down a couple thousand and we're approving you. So that was just amazing. I left that day with a brand new car for me and my husband, for our family. I was just so excited about that. And then about 2 months after that, so May 11th to be exact, which was Mother's Day, my now husband proposed to me. So that was just really big. That was extremely big for us because we were going on 3 years of being together. We had our house and our kids, and I'm just like, I wasn't like expecting a proposal or anything right away. I honestly thought maybe he would wait until we were in a big house, like after we bought a house, which I was totally fine with. But he did it. He proposed, and it was so special. He did it on Mother's Day. And he said it was his Mother's Day gift to me to make us a family, just to have everything be complete. He was like, this is the start of our real family. And he's like, Happy Mother's Day. Just when he said that, I'm like, that is so freaking like, I cried, obviously. And he didn't do it like, we didn't go out somewhere and have this whole big plan. Honestly, he bought the ring. He had an idea to propose at lunch, but we didn't end up going to lunch. So he just went out to his car, got the ring, came in the living room, and got down on one knee. And to me, guys, that is still so special. Like, you don't need to go to a restaurant or some fancy lake or like some special foreign place to get engaged. Like, you just don't. And I thought the proposal was just as special and just as sweet and super meaningful, honestly. And of all holidays, he chose Mother's Day, and I just thought that was like so freaking cool. Which a lot of you guys know that we wanted to have a big wedding, and we were aiming for 2020, which is this year, or for 2021, which is next year. And I got to thinking, and I'm like, why do we have to wait to get married? And he had even mentioned it a little bit. He's like, we could just go to the courthouse if you wanted to do that. And it kind of just like dawned on me one day. I'm like, what are we waiting for? Let's just get married. We love each other. We know we want to be together forever. And so that's what I called the courthouse. I set up a date, and we got married August 16th, just a few months after our engagement. So that was really fun. And I will try to link the wedding video below for you guys. That way you can go watch it if you haven't watched it yet. Also, if you want to go back to some previous videos, I uploaded like me making my bouquet, all of my wedding supplies. I did a couple of vlogs leading up to the wedding. So if you guys want to check those out, I'll try to link those as well. If not, you can just go back through the videos and you'll definitely see them. And then that whole second half of August was so crazy because we had our wedding on the 16th. Nathan's first day of school was August 15th, the day before. And then exactly a week from our wedding day, August 23rd, our boys turned 1. And we had never hosted a party at our house before, much less that big of a party. So like, we had a lot of people at our house, and it was a big deal, and there was just so much going on in August. It was just such a crazy month. And then things kind of pretty much died down. Nothing else really happened, you know. There's of course the family drama and the drama with friends and the drama at work, and you know, there's those little things, but honestly, I didn't really have a lot of bad things happen in 2019. Pretty much everything that happened was very positive. And it's the first year in several years that I really didn't have anything bad to say about it. Like, nothing really bad happened. If anything, more good things happened than bad things. And I think that's just amazing. Like, it's such a blessing. Like, I can't think of any other word. Like, it's a blessing. And I'm just grateful that 2019 brought a lot of good and positive changes into my life. So yeah, that's just to recap 2019. Overall, it was a really good year, and I'm really happy with how the year went. I also grew in a lot of areas, especially as an individual, as a mother, and as a wife, which brings me into the next part of this video. So I've never actually updated you guys about our marriage. I made a little life discussion video about married life, but honestly, I was so newly married that can we even really, I mean, come on. So we are almost 5 months in, and even though we've been living together most of our relationship, and we're already doing like the husband wife like things, being married is so different. Like, I didn't even know how to describe it at first, but I just knew something felt different. Like, it was just a change. And what it is, it's a change in your behavior, really. Because, yeah, when you're engaged or when you're a boyfriend or girlfriend, there are certain things that you can do that you can't do when you're married, or that you just maybe necessarily shouldn't do. And what I mean by that is, like, when we were just dating, if he wanted to go somewhere, you know, he could just go. Oh, my friends, I'm gonna go hang with my friends, or oh, I'm gonna go do this, or like, you know, because I didn't have any hold over him. And I'm not saying as a married woman you have a hold over your husband, but when you're dating somebody, they're technically allowed to go and come as they please. And with married life, you know, it kind of took me back a little bit at first, because a couple weeks in, his friends wanted to go do something, and he was like, hey babe, is it okay if I go do this? And I'm like, what do you mean, is it okay? He's like, I'm asking for permission. And I'm like, whoa, you're asking for permission? Like, what do you mean? He's like, well, that's the common courtesy. That's like the nice thing to do, is to ask you. He's like, I can't just leave. And I was like, he's right. You know, I can't just leave either. Oh, my friends want to go here, my friends want to do this. Bye, I'm leaving. And it's not just because we have kids, but like, he's my husband. And out of respect, we have to check in with each other. Not necessarily like, it's not like we're treating each other like we're each other's parents. Like, oh, can I go do this? Can I go do that? It's more so that we're not asking. It's just that we're putting it out there instead of just going and doing something. Like, we're checking in with each other. Because maybe the other person wants to go to the grocery store, or the other person wants to have a date night. Like, you don't know what the other person's plans are until you check in with them. And as a married couple, we're still getting used to having to check in with each other for certain things. Like, it's still a little weird, I guess. I don't know. And then the not so lighthearted, like, simple things, finances. So we've been talking about maybe getting like a joint account. We've been discussing money a lot, and not necessarily like, we're not arguing about money, but we're just realizing that we do need to have discussions about it, because, you know, we are one now. We're a union. Therefore, his finances are my finances are his finances, you know. We've even before we got married, I was helping him pay the bills. But now that we're married, obviously we're looking ahead and not at the present. We're thinking like, how can we prosper? What can we do to save for this? What do we need to budget for so that way we can afford this? You know, because we're trying to buy a house. And now we have to discuss our finances more with each other, how much money we're bringing in, what our personal bills are. We discuss those things because those things need to be known now. When you're dating and not married, you don't necessarily need to know all the money that the other person brings in unless you guys are trying to get married and like live together permanently. Then those things do need to be discussed. And that was different for us because I had been living with my grandma ever since I got out of high school, and then I lived with him briefly at his apartment, and then we went straight to a house together, and we didn't have the twins at the apartment. So it was like we went from me and him and Nathan staying at Castle Point for, well, us for a few months, him for 3 years, to going into this house with 5 of us. It's a big change, you know. And so finances was definitely something that we had to get used to discussing with each other. It was definitely weird at first. Not so much for him. He's always been pretty open about like what his bills are and stuff. I think it was weird for me because I just always felt like, well, I work part-time, so you have an estimate of what I make. But he didn't know for sure. He didn't know how much my car payment was, car insurance, health insurance, you know, phone bill, all my personal bills. And now we know each other's stuff. And we like, so that way we have a better understanding of what each of us can put aside each paycheck to save for bigger things like buying a house. But overall, it's been really, really good. I feel I feel closer to him in a different way. I've always felt close to him, but as a wife, I feel closer to him in a different way now. And I don't know, just marriage is definitely hard. There are some days when I'm super frustrated or just like completely irritated and I just want to get in the car, take a drive, get myself together and come back. And that is okay to do that. But at the end of the day, you know, you don't ever want to go to sleep mad at your husband or your wife. And I try really hard not to do that because this is something that we're going to work at for the rest of our lives. We've committed to being together for the rest of our lives. And so that is why I have our vows and I type them out and I'm going to frame them and put them up on the wall in our new house. That way we're always reminded, you know, we're in this for the long haul. No matter how rough it gets, we're in this for the long haul. And I truly love him. He truly loves me. And we're honestly happy. Some days it's hard, but even on those hard days, we still love each other just as much as when we're in a good place with each other, if that makes sense. So yeah, marriage has been a huge learning experience for me. I'm still learning and growing, and I'm going to continue to learn and grow because you never stop learning and growing in your marriage. You don't ever reach a peak where you've grown as much as you can grow. You don't ever get to the point where you love a person as much as you can love them because you should fall more in love with them every single day. And that's honestly why I'm excited because I get to fall in love with him more and more every single day and do life with him, which is just, it's exciting. I know I keep saying that word, but it really is. So for all newly married people or people that are gonna get married or people that have been married for 5, 10, 20 years, you guys either know what I'm talking about or you're gonna know pretty soon. And it's such a special thing. You know, don't let people tell you that marriage is a trap or that it's bad because no, some people don't work out. The divorce rate is on the higher side within the last 10 to 20 years. But for the percentage of people that make it and they make their marriage worthwhile, they go into it knowing that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. They go into it looking at that person and saying, I love this person no matter what, and I'm going to stick by them no matter what. And that's how you have to be. You know, you can't just think, oh, I'm married now, so everything's going to be perfect, because it's not. And I mean, just yesterday I had a stressful day, and I'm like, oh man, is this what being a mother and a wife is? And no, that's not all. I mean, there are so many beautiful things about it. You just have to really, really want to give it your all, basically. Sorry, I got a little emotional for a second. But yeah, so that is my 2019 recap. Sorry if this video was kind of long. And that's also my 5-month marriage update. I will give you guys another update when we hit 1 year. I'm not going to do one every month because that just gets a little too much. But I'll do one when we get to our 1 year, which will be in August. So stay tuned for that video. As always, you know, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the little notification button down below, and you'll get all of my future video updates. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.